welcome to the African EV podcast. My name is Shabo, as you are aware, some of you. And on this platform, we talk about sustainable energy and transport for Africa. Today, I have a very special friend. I got to meet her through Smarter Mobility Live. That was last year. So, Anazi Zote. I like the name, Zote. It's like, it's hot.
Zote.
Yes.
Well, now Piper, but Zote, yeah. Anazi Zote, but I'm Piper now, but yeah.
Okay. Zote is in there somewhere. We must not throw it away. So, Anazi.
No.
Welcome to the African EV podcast.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay. So, Anazi is not a technical person. We are an average consumer when it comes to power. But please tell us a bit about yourself. Who is Anazi? What do you do before we go into this area?
Certainly. Well, I basically sort of organize corporate events, big corporate events. As Gad mentioned earlier, we did Smarter Mobility Africa, which touches on improving transport across Africa, whether that's through electric vehicles, whether that is making way for bicycle lanes so that we have bicycles, we're traveling with bicycles or we're walking, just better and alternative modes of transport to sort of enhance our experience with public transport from home and to work. So I'm basically in charge of heading up the content, doing the research for that content, coming up with the agenda, and also researching some of our top speakers and moderators. And that's how I met Gad through that whole interaction of smarter mobility. And yeah, that's what I've been doing. And I've also been doing a bit of marketing on the side. I'm also learning online and doing a digital marketing course. So I'm doing a bit of everything right now.
Okay. Taking advantage of Corona. Yeah?
Yes, exactly.
South Africa, I keep hearing from the news, your Corona cases. You are in there because you have been on lockdown for how long now?
No, this lockdown has been too long actually. Ever since March last year, we've been on lockdown.
Are you kidding me?
We keep going between, I'm serious, we keep going between level 3 and level 1, and then we go back to level 3. Currently we're on level 3 with lighter restrictions. So we just had the heavy restriction removed, but we're on level 3 right now.
Wait, so can you explain the levels for us? Some of us, my country lockdown, we did it for only, I think, 5 weeks or so. We got tired of the lockdown. Wow. Now we are not into lockdown. The cases are actually more than when we went to lockdown today. But lockdown, we are not going for lockdown. We are refused.
Wow. Wow, I need to move to Ghana because wow, if we refuse, we gonna be punished or fined or go to prison and stuff. So it would be nice to just be sorry.
No, I exaggerate. But truthfully, I think in Ghana, what we discovered through the last lockdown is our economy is not able to sort of handle it. Okay, so I foresee that even if you go into lockdowns, it will be highly localized. So maybe neighborhoods. We realize that this neighborhood has a lot of high cases. But to say that the entire city of, let's say, Accra or whatever is a bit of a stretch. I don't foresee that. But I want you to explain to us what you mean by levels of lockdown. What is level 1? What is level 2? What is level 3?
So the higher the level, right? Let's say now level 5. The higher the level, then the stricter the rules, right? The more harsh the rules, yeah. And the stricter the lockdown. Then the less the levels, as you go towards level 1, then the lighter the rules become. So for example, under level 1, you are free to roam around and go wherever you want to go. You can have events of up to full capacity of the people, indoor and outdoor. Alcohol is unbanned. Everything is just as it was like in normal. But then under level 5, which is like the strictest one, they'll say you can't go out unless you're going to buy groceries. That's the only time you're permitted to go out. You have to wear a mask at all times. You have to preserve social distancing, which is, what's it, a meter away, 2 meters away from each other. And yeah, it's just very strict. They're banning a lot of things under level 5. So level 3, we're in the middle.
Okay.
We get towards us. We're in the middle now. We're sort of free, but not really free.
You know, you make it sound like they are banning things for fun.
You know, it was cute at first, but now I'm starting to feel like a prisoner in my own home.
Okay. I mean, you get over it. I think Ghana, we are stubborn. Eh?
Yeah.
The president gave an address just last week restricting certain public gatherings, including funerals and whatever, and all pubs and co have been closed. There's one particular address, as the president was giving the speech, that pubs shall remain closed because they have already been closed. Somebody sent a message to one of the radio stations that we are watching the president's speech from the pub.
So I don't know, how does law enforcement work there? Is there no one that's going to come in and sort of be like, hey,
we are here. Ghana, we are here. I mean, I'm not trying to say that we are a lawless society, which is will not be true. We are very lawful and very law abiding by and large, and we are very genial. But I think it is what it is. You just have to be practical. You get what I'm saying? You just have to be practical. If they want to jail all of us, it's not going to work. What the focus is on rather is, the protocols, like wearing the mask and sanitizing yourself and stuff like that. That's basically. Anyway, let's get to our main topic.
Yeah. Yes.
Is it of late? You cannot have any conversation without talking about Corona. It's
we
amazing.
Can't. I know lately, no, you can't. You have to first address the elephant in the room.
Oh yes. It's a big elephant.
Yes.
So tell me about your situation in South Africa. If you can give us some perspective, because South Africa, you have this exceptionalism on the continent because of your history. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, with the apartheid and all that. So your systems are structured in a way. All right. Now, for those in the rest of Africa, they expect things to at least work better than. Okay. So I'm surprised, or I was surprised some years back when I realized that you guys were having power challenges and all that. So I want your story as a consumer. I don't want the technical people. I just want, what are you experiencing? How did this start? Where is it going?
Yeah. I won't even go into the laws or the politics because I don't want to get into trouble. I'm not a lawyer. But all I know is that from the stories of my grandparents, from the stories of my mother, during apartheid, they never had load shedding. There was always power. Okay. And obviously, over the years, some of these power stations or plants, they have not been maintained well, right? I don't know what the reason is. The technical people can get into it, but they haven't been maintained well, and as a result, are causing this load shedding. We have to load shed in order to have power, which is weird. I mean, you have to switch off the power to have the power, which is weird. But ever since December last year, we've been having load shedding.
Wait, so
or power outage, as some people know it.
Was that the first time you actually experienced load shedding in your life, as in December last year?
Oh, in my life? No. In my life, maybe I was like 2 years old or something.
Are you kidding? You said it early.
I'm not even joking. That early. I'm from a rural area though, but I know for a fact that some of my city friends did experience it from like the age of 5, around the age of 5. So it's been ongoing. It's been a problem. I actually had a conversation with one of the speakers that we're gonna come for smart mobility, and he's a expert in solar panels and all that stuff. And he says if the government continues to use power in this manner, we are going to have load shedding for 2 or 3 days in a row. You know, because right now we have load shedding for about 8 hours in a day.
Wait, you have
So the
power
lights could
off
go
for 8
off now.
hours out of 24 hours.
Yeah.
This sounds like Ghana some few years back.
You see, it's getting really bad. And he says if we continue like this the next 10 years, if we don't use any alternative form of energy or power, we are going to have no lights. This is in the next 10 years, which is very, very, very soon. So I was actually shocked at the article. I mean, I won't jump the gun, but I was actually shocked at the article when it came out, the one you shared with me, to say that Eskom is going to actually charge more for people using solar. Doesn't make sense. We have to use other alternatives, because if we don't, we're going to strain the one form, which is coal mining. We're going to strain it, and then before you know it, we're going to run out of that resource, and then we won't have power.
Is it? I don't even want to go there because that's going to be technical. But even coal as a source of energy is a problem, because I know that like the people in the coal mining towns in South Africa, there's a serious health issue, and even where the power plants are. But you see, in a way, it's not so weird that Eskom would try something like this. For those of you, I think you'll be watching it. They say Eskom wants South Africans with solar panels to pay more for electricity. Okay, that's the headline. I think we'll link the article in the video description below for you to go through. But you see, the point is the power companies in Africa, a lot of them are in debt. All right.
Yeah.
And they need money, a lot of money to even expand capacity. At the same time, our population is growing and our usage is also exploding. You get it? So it's like they're between a rock and a hard place. And as we are experiencing, most people are seriously considering going solar so that they can get off the grid. You get what I'm saying? So now, at the very moment that you need money, the people who are going to give you the money are now leaving you behind. So, I hope you get what I'm saying. So, that is why that sort of logic, which is let us catch them, whatever they are, will follow you to where you are going. Bring the money. You know, the same kind of logic is playing out in a number of African countries, like we're discussing offline. But I want to know, how does all this thing affect you personally in South Africa?
Well, personally, I'm a mother, so I need to cook for my kids. So when sometimes, right, they will have a schedule and say that the lights will go out from this time to this time. But what I find is that they never stick to that schedule. Okay. Sometimes it will go off an hour later or an hour before. And you told yourself, okay, you're going to plan ahead and then do such and such. But then it so happens that it goes out before that, or it goes out twice in a day. So let's say, for example, we'll go out at 4 p.m., come back in the next 4 hours, and then go out again after an hour, and then go out again until the next morning, you know. So that's number one, like household matters. Number two, we're working from home. It's COVID. So we rely on Wi-Fi, which relies on electricity. We rely on our phones, which relies on electricity. Yes, we can charge our phones and prepare, but we never know. Maybe I'm busy on something, then all of a sudden the lights go out. I was not forewarned about it. I was not told about it. I only know about one schedule, but for some reason there's a power outage out of nowhere. They just have to cut the lights. So it's just annoying. It's a bit of an inconvenience. I'm not saying that we'll die, but it's a bit of an inconvenience when we're working from home, when we're living at home, and we have to quarantine and do lockdown here at home. We can't be going anywhere else. It's like we need the lights on.
Wait. How does that mix load shedding and lockdown? The two sounds. It's a sound.
That's what I'm saying. I'm starting to sound like I feel like a prisoner in my home. It's like you decide when my lights go out. You decide if I can go outside or not. It's starting to feel like you're a prisoner at your own home now. You can't, you have no freedom of movement, but now also you can't use lights, And most of the establishments here in Johannesburg, they have modern finishing. So they don't have gas stoves. Can't just put on a gas stove. Don't have gas stove. It's a 4-plate burner. It needs electricity. Most of the establishments and the houses in the city have that. So it's like, and then you also can't go out to a restaurant either because the lockdown says that you have to be home. Yeah, it says you have to be home by 8 p.m. So it's either like you starve or just sit around here and wait for that to come on. Do you know what I mean?
I don't want to know what you mean. It sounds like a very difficult way of living. No, a very frustrating way of living. Maybe I should parachute Olukoku from Nigeria to Johannesburg to come and teach you some skills. The Nigerians are very ingenious people.
Survival of the fittest.
Oh yes. Because I'm actually surprised at the degree to which the load shedding you are talking to me about is it's affecting you guys. Because 8 hours is no joke. But how are businesses reacting to this?
Okay, when I was last working for a previous events company, I won't mention, they didn't have a generator. The generator was not working. So we actually had to shut down, and we didn't have PCs, personal computers, to take home to do the work. So we actually had to just shut down. It was basically a waste of a day. We came in at 9 a.m. and then the lights went off at around 10 to 11. So you basically haven't done any work by then. And they had to switch off because there was nothing we could do. The lights went off for about 6, 7, 8 hours of that day anyway, which by then our shift or our working hours would have ended. So yeah, it was a waste of a day that they had to pay the staff, I guess. If I'm looking at it from a business perspective, I think it's bad. Most restaurants and essential services have generators. So like the grocery stores, you'll find that they keep a generator going so that even if the lights go off, it's fine.
It seems like we should start a generator business in South Africa, eh? We should start to import
So
exports. We should start a generator business in South Africa.
Me?
We should start a generator business.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Imports and exports, yeah.
Yes. But are people considering solar? Are more people going that way? Since with the solar, you don't have to pay the continuing expenses.
Exactly. So the initial cost, obviously, of sort of installing solar, it's big, but then obviously the cost decreases over time. Actually, our next door neighbors have solar, so when our lights are off, I just see their lights are on. So it's just like
it's neighborhood pressure. So
neighborhood pressure now.
You are considering getting solar. Yes.
Yes.
You might.
So is the way forward, because what they do, the panels, like the sun during the day, okay, lately there hasn't been a lot of sun this past week, but usually the sun, and then that they store it for the panels, they get stored, and then at night they can switch on the lights and not be disturbed by Eskom.
And you were
So they're looking
envious.
at us like,
Oh
and I'm just
man.
like, please let us in. Let us into
Uh,
your solar world.
I think so let me ask another question now. What is the government saying about this? And that's just one part of the question. The second part is, what is your reaction to what they are saying, whatever it may be?
Okay, without getting too political, obviously their stance on this matter is they want to kind of keep, I understand that they want to keep state entities alive, whether it be Eskom, our airline, South African Airways, they want to keep them going, right? It's embarrassing for a ruling party like ANC to take over and then also like now start depleting all our state entities that were working just fine in apartheid. It's a bit embarrassing. And I get it, but they have to also understand, my reaction now is that they have to understand that over time, they have not maintained these power plants well. And had they done that, or had they incorporated other independent small energy companies earlier on at Eskom, this wouldn't be a problem. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's sort of a partnership between private and public to say, how can we all come to a solution together in order to, yes, keep Eskom alive, but then at the same time keep the lights on for the rest of the country.
Okay. So which one do you think is your priority? Keeping the institution alive or supplying power to the citizens?
I feel like right now it's keeping the station alive, to be honest with you, because why would you make us want to pay more for using alternative forms of power? Why would you do that? Why would you not rather work with those independent private companies and say, hey, let's cut a deal, let's do ABC. Then, we keep the lights on for everybody and ourselves as Eskom. We keep the lights on for ourselves because now we're moving ahead with the times. The times are changing. It's not like it was before. Like you said, the population is growing. We need more power. We need more energy. We're moving into smart cities. So how are we going to do that when our lights are off?
I can see that you are really upset about. I
I'm
need to pay
I'm
more
just
for power.
a
How is that
passionate
possible?
I'm a passionate citizen, and I believe that if we don't move towards smart cities, then we're gonna get left behind. The rest of the world is there. The UK is there. Everyone is there. Everyone is going there. They're going in that direction. But here we are still stuck in one place. We can't even switch the lights on or keep them on, which is gonna be very sad for our economic development, for our social development as well, because now we're gonna have people with old skills who can't quickly catch up with new skills. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be chaos. It's gonna be chaos and mayhem.
I have good news for you on that score.
Okay.
Ignore them. Ignore them.
No.
Just ignore them. No. Is it? And it sounds trite, but I'm not very serious about what I'm saying. In a sense that you see, before it was not possible to do without them. Okay. But now with the technologies available, increasingly it's becoming possible. Your neighbors, I don't know, if they decide to go off grid, in other words, they're not connected to the national distribution network at all. How are they going to charge them for power they are not buying from them? Do you get what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
The only way they can get them is maybe taxing the equipment when it comes in. Okay, but what about if a clever fellow, and I can bet you there are more than one in SC,
Yeah.
decide to set up an assembly plant for these components there?
Right. Yeah. Yep.
You see, so it's just unfortunate that our politicians, a lot of them, they are not ready to be bold and face the reality that sometimes some of
Yeah.
these power plants, for example, they have to acknowledge that, hey, our people, this is a sunk cost. It's a waste. we can keep it on, but we know that in the next 4 or 5 years, we have to shut it down. That's acknowledge the reality on the ground. But this kind of, I don't know, they're just wasting everybody's time and creating frustration for the citizens.
My point exactly. I fully concur and agree with you. It's a waste of time. It was a waste of time 10 years ago. And now in the next 10 years, because we're trying to hold on to this golden egg, you know, it's just the golden egg, the golden child, you know. It's run its course. It's not working. What could have made it work was not done. So, yeah. Keep it moving, man.
Anazi, thank you very much. I just wanted to get your opinion. And as usual, you have been very eloquent and very expressive. And you have given us your perspective. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gad. I really enjoyed this podcast. I hope I get invited to more of them because it's very interesting. I like these type of discussions.
Oh yes, I know. You have opinions. They have to know.
I have opinions that need to be out there. I want people to hear my voice.
In case you are watching us, don't mind us. We're just happy.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.
So